David Nicholas joins me now. David, what are retail sales, this very small 0.1% increase in May? What does that tell you about the stock market?
Well, I think it tells us, as Stuart, brick-and-mortar retailers are taking it on the chin. Inflation is clearly hurting sales. Retailers are doing everything they can to attract buyers. But this really comes down to what the market perceives as possibly a good thing. You saw interest rates coming down. Why? Because if there's a weakening consumer, that possibly means that the probability for a Fed rate cut increases. So again, I think in the short term, you're going to see yields come down. I think the market wants to wait to see really how do earnings come in. But right now, we're seeing a slowing consumer. This has to do with inflation. The U.S. consumer, I think, Stuart, is single-handedly carrying the global economy on its back. In spite of inflation, in spite of what's coming out of Washington, the consumer is still trying to do everything it can to put food on the table and spend, even though it's getting more expensive.
I see that your stock pick, or at least one of your stock picks, is iShares MSCI France ETF. Basically, that's an ETF that invests in the French stock market. What's so good about it?
That's right. Well, Stuart, if you followed this closely, French stocks took a huge hit last week, down almost 6%, because Macron's party took a huge unexpected loss to the National Rally Party. Now, again, the market perceives this as a negative. They're saying this is a far-right group, but this was pretty significant. 30% of the vote was by French citizens under the age of 35. This was unthinkable 5 years ago. So what the market perceives as negative, I actually perceive as a positive, because this is free market economics, that potentially if they get big wins, if they win even all the way to the top, this is good for French stocks. I like names like LVMH. Stuart, our viewers may not realize LVMH owns some of the biggest, most recognizable brands in the world. Tiffany's, Louis Vuitton, Chandon, Champagne, Veuve Clicquot, wonderful champagne. These are big brands, and I think this is a good time to get in. You can buy the ETF, which is EWQ, or you can look at a name like LVMH, Stuart.
Go and have an early mimosa. David Nicholas, thanks for joining us this morning. See you again soon.